Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today is going to be an election prediction between Joe Biden in 2024 and Donald Trump running for his second non-consecutive term, running against incumbent President Joe Biden. I think that I'm going to say this is the most likely matchup, but I'm not sure. It could be... I'll have three other very likely matchups that I really expect it to be one of those three as the matchup, or this one. So, I filled in most of the safe states again, and let's get into the last safe states. Colorado for Joe Biden should not be a surprise. It was a 4.9 Clinton state and then a 13.5 Biden state. It's gonna go over the 15-point threshold. With it's trending to the left very fast. Barack Obama in 2008 didn't even win it by double digits, and then in 2004 John Kerry didn't even win the state. It's gonna be safe Democrat, knowing just the trends. And then for Trump's last safe states, we have Tennessee and Louisiana. I do think that Louisiana is going to be safe this time. It's unlikely to be likely. It could be, but it's very unlikely. And Tennessee, I don't even know why I didn't have it as safe already. It's going to be safe R for a while. Now for the likely D states, I have Minnesota, a state that's almost always likely D. I mean, it was lean D in 2016, but it'll be likely D this time. I mean, Joe Biden's a popular incumbent president. Donald Trump is an unpopular former president. So, yeah, next likely state, Virginia. I almost put this one as safe, but I decided not to this time just because Joe Biden has, while he's a strong candidate for a state like Virginia, and Donald Trump clearly isn't, being that 2020 was the first time Virginia voted blue by double digits since 1944, I think. That was a pretty big achievement for the Democratic Party, and it's gonna happen again if Donald Trump is the nominee. Next likely state, New Hampshire. It's gonna be double digits, I think. It's starting to become... It's a pretty strong state for Democrats at this point. I mean, it's still a swing state, but it's it's a Democratic-leaning swing state. Democrats haven't lost the state in 20 years, which is 5 presidential elections, I think. Which is why I think that the Democratic Party is just going to win New Hampshire by a likely margin again. Next state, New Mexico. Don't really need to explain this one. I think it's going to be on the higher end of likely, though. Maybe 12, 13. And that's it for likely D. Nebraska's second is likely D. It's a pretty strong state. Nebraska's second district is trending to the left very fast, and Trump is a horrible candidate for the district. I mean, let's look at history here. Before 2008, this was a safe R district and has been for a very long time. 2008, Obama flips it by 1 point. Romney wins it by 7. Trump wins it by 2, and then Biden wins it by 7. It's clearly trending to the left fast, and I think that Donald Trump basically doubled the trend. So, with Donald Trump on the ballot, it's going to be likely D. It might even be double digits. I think it might even be double digits, actually, with Joe Biden being a popular incumbent. But we'll see. Now, that's it for the likely states for Democrats. Let's look at the likely R states. Utah, barely down to likely. It could be safe, but I think it's going to be likely Republican. Donald Trump is not a strong candidate for the state. I mean, let's look. 2012, I get Mitt Romney was a senator from the state, but from 2012 to 2016, it shifted 30 points to the left when the entire country shifted to the right by a pretty good amount. The state of Utah shifts 30 points. Donald Trump was not a good candidate for the state, and even with Mitt Romney being from the state, that's still a really big underperformance. It was bluer than Kansas in 2016. So, yeah, I think it's going to be likely Republican with Joe Biden being a popular incumbent. Now for the next likely state, not lean. Montana, it's really no surprise that I have Montana as likely R. I mean, it was a 16-point Trump state, and unpopular former president and popular incumbent President Joe Biden. It's going to go down to likely. And I'm going to say the same exact things about Kansas, Missouri, Indiana, and Mississippi. So, and Indiana, it was really, I think the only reason it was safe, it could have been likely if Mike Pence wasn't on the ballot, and he's not going to be on the ballot this time. So that's going to hurt Republicans in the state of Indiana. I think that is it. Oh wait, Alaska. It's going to be single digits for the first time in decades, actually. It's like never single digits, but I think it will be single digits. It's trending to the left, and it's a state that Donald Trump won by 10% last in 2020. He's not going to do as well. It's not going to be lean, but he's not going to do as well. Oh, South Carolina, I forgot. Another state that's trending to the left. It's probably going to be single digits, but it's not going to be this big victory. It's not going to be a big victory for Trump, but Joe Biden, it's not going to be lean either. If it is lean, then that's just a sign of a really bad year for the Republican Party. It won't be lean. Now for the lean states. I have actually quite a few of these. Oh, Maine at large. I forgot what's likely D, as it usually is. Now for the lean states, for Democratic Party, I have Nevada. Joe Biden should do a lot better than he did in 2020 here, like maybe 3-4 points. I don't think it'll go up to likely. Nevada's kind of a state that doesn't shift like the rest of the country does, aside from maybe in 2008 and 2012. It was a lot bluer than it usually is. But those were just really good years for Democratic Party. I mean, they won Indiana in 2008. That's just a sign that the Democratic Party did very well. And they won it by a lean margin even. So Nevada, not really a state that's going to shift a whole lot like the rest of the country is. But I think that Joe Biden will do better, win by 3-4 points. Excuse me. I forgot Nebraska at large and Nebraska's first district for likely. Wow, I'm really good at forgetting things. My next lean states are Michigan, Pennsylvania. Oh, not likely. These two are states that are trending to the right, but Donald Trump will not be the candidate. Donald Trump being an unpopular former president. Michigan was almost likely even. Pennsylvania, I had it pretty secure as lean. But both of these states are still Democratic leaning, especially Michigan. And Joe Biden's going to win these states if he runs for re-election in 2022. Really, even if he's against some other strong Republicans. compared to Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is not going to be able to win these two states. The next lean D state, and this actually puts him in presidency, I have as Georgia. Georgia is a state that's trending to the left very quickly. I mean, let's just look at a little history. Obama could not win the state in 2008. Then he performed even worse. But then from 2012 to 2016, when the entire country shifted to the right by a lot, like on average about 4 points or so, and we saw Michigan go from a 9-point Obama state to from a 17-point Obama state in 2008 to a Trump state in 2016. But Georgia still shifted to the left from 2012 to 2016. And even 2008 to 2016, it shifted 0.1 to the left, I think. And then, of course, Joe Biden flipped the state in 2020. He's going to win it by a lean margin, maybe 2-3 points. He's a good candidate for the state, and the trends are just really backing Joe Biden. And I think that's it for the lean states. Maybe Arizona, but I don't think it's going to be lean. For Donald Trump's lean states, he actually only has 4. That's actually quite a lot. Texas, no surprise there. It's actually, you know what? I'm going to give it to him till. We'll talk about that in a minute then. Maine 2nd District, I mean, it's trending Republican. As we can tell, it hasn't voted red in a very long time. Even Al Gore and John Kerry won it by likely margins. And then Donald Trump flipped the district after it was a likely Obama district. Donald Trump flipped the district, making it go red for the first time in I don't even know how long. And he won it by less, but he won it again in 2022, or 2020. But he'll win it by even less. It'll be lean, I think. Donald Trump was able to... If Donald Trump was a strong enough candidate to flip... Donald Trump is a strong candidate for some states and weak for others. But those states he's weak in are enough to really make him lose the election. Like Georgia, for example. He's not a great candidate for Georgia. So for Maine 2nd, of course, he will not... I'm gonna give him the district, of course, by a high lean 4%. And then I have Iowa and Ohio. I mean, these were some pretty good Trump victories in 2020, and while he's a strong candidate for the state, Joe Biden is a popular incumbent. He should do much better, but I don't think he'll be able to win the state. I mean, or either of these states for that matter. Iowa's going to go red for sure. Ohio, if it's a really good year for the Democratic Party, they could flip it back, but I really doubt that's going to happen. And then that's it for the lean states. Now let's look at the tilt states. Texas already is there. I think that Texas is going to be a tilt Republican state. It's a state that the Republican Party has been winning a lot lately, but it's trending to the left so fast. I mean, let's look. Romney won it by 17, then Trump won it by 9, then he won it by 5. And Obama even lost it by 12. And then before that, it was like in the 20s. It's gotten so much better for Democratic Party. And with a weak candidate like Donald Trump for Texas and against a candidate, Joe Biden, who is more approved of in the state than any of the statewide officials in an already Republican-leaning state, it's going to be tilt Republican. And that actually wraps it up for the tilt Republican states. I'm going to give all the rest of these to Joe Biden. Florida, if Ron DeSantis is his vice president, then Florida could probably go red. But otherwise, I'm going to give it to Joe Biden. Because, incumbents, Hispanics typically do like to vote for incumbents. That's just always been a thing in the past. Like we saw with a bunch of other candidates. Like Barack Obama did very well in Nevada in his second term. Like, obviously, his first run was an exceptional year for Democrats, but 2012 wasn't. But Nevada and Florida still voted for him. Hispanics like voting for incumbents a lot. And Donald Trump improved on his margin from 2016 to 2020 when almost every state shifted to the left. He improved on his margin in Florida by 2 points. And it makes sense. He was the incumbent. Now that Joe Biden's the incumbent, I think that he will be able to barely flip Florida. And, yeah, that's for Florida. Wisconsin, this is the only map that I have Wisconsin going blue in 2024. It's a state that's shifting to the right very fast. It's getting a lot more Republican. And on top of that, Joe Biden only won the state by 0.6. Like, Michigan and Pennsylvania are also states that are trending to the right fast. But Michigan was a 2.8 Biden victory, and Pennsylvania was even a 1.2 Biden victory. Wisconsin is very much in danger for the Democratic Party right now. Joe Biden only won it by 0.6 when Obama won it by double digits in 2008. This is the only map where I have it going blue. Now, Arizona, I already talked about this one. It could be lean. I don't think it will. It's a state that it's getting bluer, but not at the rate that Georgia is, or Colorado is, or Nebraska's second. Arizona is getting bluer, and I think it will continue to get bluer, but I don't think the trends will be enough in 2022, or 4, why do I keep saying 2022? In 2024, I don't think Joe Biden's going to be able to make it lean. He could, but I don't think he will. And for North Carolina, this one should not be a surprise. I mean, Joe Biden's a strong candidate. He's a popular incumbent, and Donald Trump is not really an amazing candidate for the state. I mean, you saw when the entire country shifted by about 4 points to the right, and this is by the average state, not by the popular vote, because, of course, Texas shifted to the left, California shifted to the left. That hurt the Republican Party in the popular vote. But North Carolina only shifted by 1.7, and then it was bluer in 2020 than it was in 2012. I think that Joe Biden will be able to flip it by a high tilt. And once, I think that North Carolina also getting bluer, while getting bluer and Joe Biden just being a better candidate than Donald Trump for the state, I think that he'll be able to flip the state. Let me know if you have different opinions on margins or even just states in general that could go red or blue. I think that this is going to be the outcome of an election with this matchup, Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, 349 to 189. Joe Biden wins by more than Obama in 2012. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.